Jane has come with a rush and leads the Jockeys Premiership after only 6 weeks of the new season. One of his wins was on the promising King Randell.
Randell and Hay down the outside. Bungarby's in front. Space Lab is getting through with Boscafella, and King Randell right out in the middle of the track has swamped them in the last bit. What a finish. Have a look at that. King Randell got up to win.
It's got to keep going though, you know. If I don't ride the winners, people soon forget, and trainers forget. And at present I'm riding horses that have got a chance to win, and if they got a chance to win, they can win, which means wins for myself.
Yeah.
Ray Guy, he's been very good to myself. He's putting me on.
Yeah.
And well, Brian, he's putting me on, of course, and
yeah.
Just, you know, trainers all general.
Generally, yeah. That phone's been ringing pretty regularly.
It's going good at this stage.
Yeah.
Just hope it keeps going.
Welcome back to Sports Sunday, and as usual, a big day yesterday, John.
Mike, it was a glorious day. Good horses, big races, top jockeys. All in all, the AJC would probably have been a little disappointed with the crowd. Only 18,500. I don't know what you got to do. Fair dinkum. I don't know what you got to do to get people back to the races.
Well, Sue, they could have been watching Wide World of Sports, and maybe even the odd one or two watch the VFL Grand Final.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I keep thinking of the days like Easter Saturday, 1948. Doncaster Day, 92,000 people at Randwick. Could you believe it?
Yep, and yet they all get along to the TAB, or so many of them do.
Which is the lifeblood of the industry when it's all boiled down. Race clubs really shouldn't worry about how many people go to the track. As long as they're betting off course, it'll go on and on forever. We've got 3 highlights from yesterday's program. The first we're going to bring you is the New South Wales Cancer Council Handicap, 2,000 metres, a lead-up race to the Spring Champion Stakes, and the odds-on pop is Easter, which is now moving up 3 deep with Mick Dittman on board to join the 2 leaders, Tierra Wrist and Splendid Speed, as they swing into the home straight. At the head of the others, 4 Papa, widest of all on the outside in the yellow with the blue armbands is Dream Lodge, and Born to be Queen has green colours and a white breastplate, and she's now coming out of the pack into 4th place and starting to run on strongly. Now Easter shifted in sharply there and hampered Tierra Wrist, who was pushed on to Splendid Speed, and Dittman of course incurred a suspension after that incident. He's out until the 12th of October. Amazingly, Bruce Compton, who rode the runner-up Born to be Queen, also copped a suspension, and he's out until October 16, and those 2 prominent jockeys will miss the long weekend of racing at Randwick next weekend. The Colin Stephen Quality Handicap, 2,400 metres. My special is a mile back here, late show. It seems to me that the Melbourne Cup distance of 3,200 metres is what he's needing. He's in front of only 3 horses as they turn for home. Grey colours with a white cap, and Jim Cassidy hard at work on him. He really doesn't get warmed up until it's all over. Now, Debbie Healy, the lady jockey, on the grey horse, Mr. Mako, is just in front. Old Hay put in a yelp here for 1 stride, but he was immediately beaten. Further out, Night Eye with the blinkers. And here comes Silver Award on the outside, and pushing through nearer the rails in the red cap with the white pom-pom is Rhineguard, ridden by Earl Harrison. And soon after Rhineguard, Night Eye, Silver Award are battling it out. Silver Award with Mick Dittman throwing everything at him. A long-striding son of Royal Rocket starts to draw clear, and Silver Award proved that his good form in the 3-year-old classics in the autumn was no fluke when he won the Colin Stephen Quality in great style. OK, the $125,000 Tooheys George Main Stakes, a classic field, and the leader was the ultimate winner, Roman Artist, who'd been very unlucky in the Peter Pan Stakes at Rose Hill when he raced with a broken bit, you'll recall. Roman Artist leads over the rise. Now, Lord of Camelot is in 2nd place, and he's the first beaten, and Tommy Smith must have been absolutely mystified with his failure. Tommy, in his inimitable style, has been declaring him a world certainty for the Epsom. He'll want to improve on this run, TJ. Rising Prince with the white blaze is running on strongly, and in a moment you'll see Riverdale starting to put in his run down the outside, but close to home Morris Logue pulls the whip on Roman Artist, and the 3-year-old is holding them at bay. Wide out now, Riverdale sizzling home. Rising Prince, as always, running his honest race, but down to the line, and Roman Artist with Morris Logue exuberantly waving the whip and his mouth wide open. I wonder what he's saying to him. Roman Artist scores a good win, and he becomes the 2nd consecutive 3-year-old to win that race. Inspired won it last year, Mike. So 2 3-year-olds on the trot, and I had to look back through the last 40 years, and I couldn't find another 3-year-old.
He was a great young horse, Inspired, wasn't he?
He sure was. Roman Artist, as I said, raced with a broken bit in the Peter Pan Stakes, and then he was beaten by Handy Proverb in the Gloaming Stakes. Doesn't it make Handy Proverb look a champion?
Johnny, I haven't had a bet for a while. You know, the champions have got me flummoxed the last few weeks, I must confess. I was glad to see Mike Willis's horse come back yesterday.
Let's get physical, yes. He won, and you can't do any more than that. The horse is his own worst enemy. He won't settle. He wants to rip and tear and reef. He's very hard for a jockey to rate. If he just learns to travel within himself, he'll be a very good horse.
But there's still a question as to whether he was worth $1 million?
There's a big question in my mind. I can give you the tip. Mike, don't bother having a bet for a while. I got one at the trots for you later on.
Good on you, son.
We'll save it up. All right, now we're going to Morfordville, where a race called the SGIC Morfordville Guineas was the main race, and the winner was a previously, in fact, a horse that had never won a race before, a maiden filly coming into the race called Starlight Girl.
Serenade, Stardust Girl, and further back the others headed then by Joanne Lurbert. Regal for Me beat off Trigger now. Imperial Regina is starting to run home. She hasn't enjoyed any luck, but she's still sticking on gamely, and Stardust Girl is joining in. Stardust Girl, Imperial Regina and Regal for Me. Stardust Girl has claimed the other pair, and Stardust Girl goes on to score a maiden before today's SGIC Morfordville Guineas, but she's broken through in a big one. Second, Regal for Me or Imperial Regina.
Good on you, Ron Paps. The winner's name was Stardust Girl, not Starlight Girl, and that race was sponsored by the South Australian State Government, SGIC Insurance Company. Here we go now to the Moonee Valley Stakes in Melbourne, and is this the same Acumen we saw in Sydney?
Race the Campaign King, the three in line. Acumen, Wellington Hammer, the only filly put ahead in front. Acumen's drawn level again. Acumen under the whip just in front, and Acumen is just going to win the Moonee Valley Stakes. A short head to Wellington Hammer.
I don't know which one Bill Collins was on, the winner or the runner-up Wellington Hammer, but you can bet your boots he was on one of them. Now, on a sadder note, we're going to see a spectacular fall here in a moment in a race called the Madden Handicap. Brilliant young lady rider Therese Payne, riding a horse called Torqueatna, clips the heels of a horse in front as they come round the turn the first time. Now we watch it again in slow motion. Watch the horse with the blinkers, clips the heels of the one in front. Therese does a perfect somersault, and she actually straddles one of the down posts, and how that young girl escaped with only a broken collarbone, I will never, ever know. Sadly, Torqueatna bolted. He went to the infield and finished up in the underground subway. He had to be destroyed after being injured badly as an aftermath to the actual fall. Now to Brisbane, the Far Lap Flying Handicap, and this winner just bolts in.
The go, Babin had a look over the shoulder, led 3 lengths, Bond Princess, Roman Knight, followed by Bowl Jet and New Bliss, but Basic French is well clear with 100 metres to go. It's in no danger of defeat. Bowl Jet, Bond Princess and Roman Knight battling gamely, but Basic French has run them into the ground. Basic French first, Bowl Jet second, Roman Knight third.
Alan Thomas, your commentator there. Basic French never got out of a canter, Mike. I don't know much about him, but he'll win again on that run.
I guess the big topic in racing this week, John, even the small punters, no matter who you are, you want to know, has David Haynes done the right thing bringing the King back, or saying he's going to bring him back?
Well, I had plenty to say about it on radio yesterday, Mike, and I can only reiterate what I said then. I don't want to see it happen. I know his legs look okay at the moment, but that's only because he's done nothing for almost 12 months. That injury recurred over and over again. Tommy Smith couldn't get him right. Charles Whittingham, the famous American trainer, couldn't get him right. I tell you what, I don't want to be there if ever he breaks down on a racecourse, Kingston Town, because they'll hang somebody. He has won $1,600,000 in prize money. I'd say he's done his job.
Yeah. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any point, does there, Ian? I mean, the horse has got nothing left to prove. It's all very well to say I'm going to give the money to charity. Maybe, I mean, what is the point of it all?
Yeah, I think he should be allowed to just rest as a champion.
It's not worth the risk, Mike. I'll never forget the day Leilani broke down at Rose Hill. A great mare. It was just sad to see. People cried when she hobbled back to scale that day. See, owners have got to realise something. Champions, I mean true champions like Kingston Town, belong to the public. They belong to Australia. And the whole of Australia pleads with David Haynes. Don't bring him back. Let him rest in peace, DH. You're a smart bloke. You've proven that. You're a millionaire. Let's see some of that intelligence.
OK, Johnny, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next Sunday.
Good luck.
Well put, too. And we'll be back in a moment with more right here on Sports